Thanks for joining the channel. In this episode, we're going to be working on the John Deere 3030E fuel filter system, changing some fuel filters and a water separator. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Tim and Joel. Welcome to Midwest Hunting and Outdoors by Two Dumbasses, a podcast about the outdoors, hunting, and being a steward of the land.
All right, in today's episode, as I stated earlier, we're going to be working on the John Deere 3038E fuel system. Specifically, there's two filters. One is a fuel separator. It's a paper cartridge. The number on that is MIU 802421. And this is a canister type cartridge that goes inside of fuel bulb and separates water, removes water. And the other filter on this tractor is a canister filter, and it is MIU 803127. So let's get into this. First thing we're going to do is make sure that our tractor is safe. We're going to park it. We're going to put the loader down on the ground. We're going to put the brake on, and we're actually going to shift this into gear once the engine's off, just to reinforce that it's not going to go anywhere. All right, we are working on the fuel system here, replacing a couple filters, as I stated earlier. These filters are on the right-hand side of the tractor as you're sitting on the tractor on the right-hand side. Same side as your joystick for controlling your loader. The first thing we're going to do is remove this right-hand side panel. You're going to need a 10 millimeter socket wrench or wrench to remove the front part of the panel, and the back part is, you can do it with your hand. It's just a little slot and spring mechanism. So let's do that now. Okay, we've got the side cover removed now, so everything's exposed. Again, this fuel system is right here, so it's literally right in front of the first filter. The water separator is right in front of your right foot, where you're using the hydrostatic pedals to go forward or back. And then just ahead of that water separator is the fuel filter. It's just almost directly underneath the exhaust pipe coming off the engine. So those are the locations that we're in. Now that we've got this panel removed, let's get in there. Next thing we're going to do is make sure we turn off the fuel, and I'll show you where that's at. Okay, we're going to go in here, and our fuel's shut off. It's well marked right here. It's on, and then I'm going to rotate it that direction and turn it off. So now our fuel is shut off here, and what we're going to do next is bleed this out. And then there's a little plug in the bottom of this that we're going to remove and bleed the diesel fuel out of this, which will allow us to clean this out and remove the cartridge out of it. All right, here's our water separator. On the bottom of it is a little white plug drain. You should be able to remove this with your fingers. Let's give it a go. And it's just threaded, so we're going to remove this completely and drain that bulb out. Alright, this is just a plastic container with threads. It's threaded in there. Just be careful with it. I didn't have a filter wrench big enough, so I just used a flathead screwdriver and a hammer it's got fins on it here that you can get the screwdriver on one of those fins and bust it loose, and once it's loose it just comes off by hand. So let's take that off here. And you want to be careful. There's a little plastic spacer that goes in the bottom of this. So I'm going to put that with the plug, but you can see all the gunk in there. So we're going to clean this up. I'm going to take the fill filter. This is what we're going to replace. Clean this up, put the new one in, and we should be good with half of this project. It's the difference between these two filters. This is obviously the used one, and this is the new one here. So we'll put this new one in there. It's really only one way to put this filter in. Make sure that the hole inside goes up. It gets pushed up in there firm and gets connected in the inside, and the other side is there's no hole and it's flush. We've got our bulb here. Just remember that there's a gasket on here. Make sure that gasket is good and connected. We've got a little spacer that goes in the bottom. I'm going to put the plug in now. And then we'll screw this back in. So again, the fuel filter is located right underneath the exhaust. The exhaust pipe is right here. So right underneath the exhaust is the cartridge fuel filter, the canister fuel filter. We're going to remove that and put a new one on. Okay, I've got a little grease that I put on the seal, and we're just going to grease that little gasket there and screw it on. Alright, the last thing we're going to do, I turn the fuel valve back on. So we've got a new water separator cartridge filter in. We replaced the fill filter in front of that, the canister type. Then I turn back on the diesel fuel. We're going to turn the key on, and you should hear the pump the diesel fuel, and when it stops, go ahead and start the engine. Okay, we have turned the key on, and the pump took 30 to 45 seconds to fill up that line in the two canisters here. So let's give it a go. Alright, everything sounds good, looks good. I've got no leaks. I'm going to put this side panel back on, and I will not have to deal with this for another 400 hours. However, I am glad that I did it when I did it, because both filters and the bulb were extremely dirty, and it needed it. So, hey, thanks for watching the episode. If you've got any comments or questions, put them down below. But until next time, be safe, have fun, and get outdoors.
Thanks for listening or watching our show. We have some exciting topics and guests coming up. We ask that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We look forward to hearing your suggestions for topics, questions, and comments. This is Two Dumbasses signing off. Until next time, be safe, have fun, and get outdoors.